Well, hello there, and welcome back to RAMJB's channel. It's been a long time. Yeah, let's say I took a break. I didn't feel like making any videos, and that I would make them again when I feel like it. So, seems that's the time. And, well, I will make some kind of channel video in the near future, explaining more or less how things stand, what I'm going to do in the future, which are my plans coming next. But for the time being, let's focus on what's going on with this particular video, which is the start and beginning of a new series, which you will have guessed by what's on the screen right now is U-Boat. Back in the day, I made a campaign of a US submarine in the Pacific with Silent Hunter 4, so it's time we give a fair chance to German submarines using a game which is rather new. I mean, it's about to come out of early access and it's going to be full release in a month or so. And yeah, I gave it a chance a couple of years ago, and I recently came back to it, and I feel like making videos about it. It's heavily modded. You will see in the description below the list of mods that I'm using. Particularly, I'm using a 1 mega mod, which is the UBE mod. Never played with it before, so yeah, I wanted to make things a little bit fresh, because with the base game, the vanilla game, with some cosmetic and utility mods, well, I'm actually pretty decent with this. Before anything, I'm going to say that yeah, this is not the first video I make about this game. Yesterday I was capturing some footage because, well, I'm going to make a series about this. Sadly, it's not usable because, for whatever reason, it's been a long time, guys. So a lot of things I used to do back then, they need to come back. And for whatever reason, I was capturing in a wrong resolution, and I mean, the whole screen was cropped. You could only see a part of it, so the footage is completely unusable. But something really happened. Something really funny happened, which I was going with the U-31 campaign. This is the UBE mod campaigns. This is U-31 from Wilhemshaven, and begins in the 27th of August 1939. As you see, this is pre-war. War hasn't just started yet. Invasion of Poland happened the 1st of September. UK and France declared war on the 3rd of September, right? So yeah, I went out in patrol, capturing footage happily, and something really funny, really funny happened, which you're going to see right now. Yeah, I'm losing it.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf. Torpedoversager. Torpedoversager.
Yeah. Two torpedoes were that, I think. I think of it, it's really lucky this was Polish and not from Norway. Norway is neutral right now.
Kapitän?
And now I think of it, I mean, we are not at war right now. Oh shit. No. It's 28th of August 93. Okay, guys. I think we just declared World War II. Yeah, well, it just happened that I declared war on the Allies myself. Just went into patrol, I found two ships. One of them was British, the other one Polish. They were heading west towards UK. And yeah, I happily said, whoa, nice targets. Went for them, and yeah, didn't even check the date. Yikes. So let's begin again, right? This is going to be U-31 career. One of the things I spoke about when I was setting up for what was going to be original campaign was that I really was aiming for a later war career, right? Around 1942, maybe 1943, when things are a little bit more heavy for the Germans, right? You guys know I like a challenge, and when a game really challenges me. The problem with that is that by that stage of the war, all the torpedoes, or at least the torpedoes you really want to take with you, the T3s and T1s, they are all FATs, FATs, the pattern torpedoes, right? Just happens that I'm using a mod, which is the TDC mod, which is actually pretty amazing. And it's going to be a part of the actual game when it goes full release. But right now it's just a mod. And it's a mod that hasn't been supported for a while now. And it just happens that the pattern torpedoes, the FATs and LUTs, LUTs, they came to the game after the TDC mod stopped being supported. I think because the author of the mod actually went on to work with the developers in order to integrate it into the game. Long story short, the TDC mod doesn't work with those torpedoes, so any carrier which has FATs or LUTs in it, if you use the TDC with them, they will always come short and start the pattern before actually hitting the target, no matter what range do you put into the straight course distance for the torpedo. And honestly, I want to make use of the TDC mod. I think it's really awesome and really realistic, and I like the way it works. I know I can play without it, or with it, but not using it as the actual meaning of launching the torpedoes, but I want to use it. So yeah, that means that we have to bring the career to a point where it's pre-pattern torpedoes. And I went with 1939. Is that simple. When the game goes full release, hopefully by then this career will be over, hopefully in a good note and not being thrashed and destroyed by some breed on a destroyer. And then we will do a mid-war campaign, which is going to be more challenging, of course. But for now, let's go with this. This is Captain Lieutenant, or Kalun, whatever, Johannes Habekost, really, Habekost. And the first warrant officer, Over Lieutenant Heinz Otto Schulz, which I think later on went on to be a skipper himself. Anyway, let's go. You know me, hardcore, full crew management. I mean, I really never noticed any difference between intermediate and expert, and I don't want to go minimal. I think it's an integral part of this game, and I want to experience it. So expert it is. Everything on top. I mean, the only thing is not going to be hard realism, is the gameplay perspective, because I want to take external shots. I mean, this is a YouTube career. I have to make external shots for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, there we go. The standard guy, which I'm going to... I like beards, so bearded. And yeah, I could change the name, but let's go with it. Johannes Habekost. And there you go, that's the intro, which actually it took me by surprise the first time I tried it. It was like, what the hell is this? It's actually pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, we start at we'll never be able to see it. Blasted name. Wilhemshaven. Nice. Yeah, we start there. Not gonna repeat that name very much in this let's play because I don't want to butcher it anymore than I already did. But it's Sunday, 5 days before the war begins. And let's remember that this time. I don't want to declare war on myself. Okay, standard shot of the U-boat, and this is the RDF, the radio direction finder. And this is the interior of our submarine. We will take a tour later so you can check it out. I mean, by this stage, if you are watching this, probably you will have seen other videos of this game or other games which are about submarines, so you will know them. But we will take the tour nonetheless. Anyway, to begin with, we have, let's rearrange this. I want my column here, first officer here, mechanics here, and sonarmans on the left. Let's check on our crew. So we have a cook, which is completely useless for a captain. Okay, he can handle the gun, and again, not really nice for a captain. He wouldn't be the one manning the gun, right? Okay, well, whatever. Oh, nice. Okay, with merchant skills. This will come nice. Oh, 2 of them. This means they can go in boarding parties and they will make analyzing neutral shipping a lot easier. Or not easier, but they will be able to find out discrepancies in papers of smugglers. So that's good. Our other leader, this is our XO, can operate the gun. That's actually nice for an XO. And he's tough, so he can stand more damage. Well, I really don't plan to get hit, but we are going to get hit eventually, so this is good. And our sonarman, or radio man. Another merchant. Okay, yeah, we have a really good ensemble of officers who can go on board enemy ships. Okay, tasks. Yeah, radio officer, chief engineer. So Carl Eric Troza is our chief engineer and Harald Powell is our mechanic. The difference is that I'm going to have them both focusing on keeping the engine online. You will see why later on. Our radio officer is going to be our medic as well, so let's make sure that he has top priority on that. So if anyone gets hurt, he comes running to get it. I also want a higher priority on listening. This is the sonar station, this is the radio station. At the beginning of the war, the sonar station is just about the sonar, so it's only really useful when you are underwater. Later on in the war, this also includes the radar detection means. So the Naxos, the Metox, all those things that detect radar waves. And this position becomes rather critical, actually. Okay, watch officer, 2 watch officers, our Cologne and our XO, higher navigation, please, I don't want to get lost. And that's about it for management. I'm not going to have a dedicated cook, even less if it's the captain. No, he's not here to cook for the people. As for the crew, what the hell is this? Okay, this is new. This is the UB mod, I guess. So this we used to have, this is... Oh, Hellsman Station. Yeah, that's important. I mean, 8 is nice for it. No, I don't want anyone on the observation periscope. I really don't like to have 2 scopes up. If the captain or the XO is on a periscope, it's going to be either the attack or the observation one. But they are the 2 only people in the submarine which are going to touch that piece of equipment. So yeah. No, the usual sailor is not going to do that. Valves, ultra important, really 9. As important as to keep the engines. Why? Well, if a plane comes crashing down on us and I order a crash dive, I want people to answer to that immediately. So they go fast to the valves, they open them so we can go down. Otherwise, if they are just cleaning and they see the the valves and they decide, nah, it's not my stuff, it's not my obligation to open the valves. So we get sunk by an enemy aircraft. Yeah, I don't want that. As you can guess, this has happened to me before. So no, not again. Power switch and bulkheads, 5 is okay. Cooking, yeah, 4 is okay. Cleaning, yeah, well, clean a little bit. No need to be ultra tidy here. We are at war after all. Schedule. Okay, yeah, we have 3 shifts, morning, evening, night. This is for the crew, but the officers. Now, this is important because your officers can be working all day long. They are going to get tired and they are going to even faint if they work too much. So we don't want that, right? They need to rest. So we are going to give them rest time and we are going to give them working time. Now, let's begin by our captain. He's going to be the one who's been up at the top, looking at possible contacts, etc., and doing navigation during the day. He's going to have a day shift. What I'm going to give him is like this or so, 3, 10. Yeah, 10 hours in a row, then he's going to go rest. He's not going to spend the rest of the time resting. He's going to have another little shift, but we are going to look when that's going to happen. Now, Heinsoro, our XO, is going to come and have the night shift, which is going to be like this. And he's going to rest and come again a little bit and then rest again. So these 2 hours, our captain is going to cover for him. Not perfect, but at least we have someone who's commanding the submarine all day long, either the captain or the XO. Mechanics, same story. We want someone on the engines all day long. So what I'm going to do is give Carl Eric Troza, who is our chief mechanic, is going to be like this. And Harald Powell, which is our backup or mechanic, is going to be up like this. Again, we have someone on the engines all day long. Pretty important. Now this is a little issue. We only have one radio man, who is going to be the one managing, obviously, the radio, but also the hydrophones, the sonar. And yeah, we don't have backup for him. So what I'm going to do is give him like this for 4 with 2 hours in between, so he can rest a little bit. These are little windows where we will have no officer at the radio station. But well, as we can see here, no, actually no, but I know for a fact, yeah, they're here. There will be some sailors on the position. They won't translate, they won't decode messages, but they will tell us, hey, there's a message. We need our radio man. So I can wake him up and he can check on those. So that's okay. Now squads. We have 18 no rank sailors and we have 5 officers. So 3 shifts, 6 each makes for 18. So there we go. Each officer is going to have 1 sailor with them all the time, and with time, as they gain experience, I will give them the ability to have 2, which I am actually going to do now, because Habegost, our captain, has a free skill point, which I'm going to immediately put in improved authority. So here we have +1 followers to limit. This is pretty important because the more followers he has, the more efficient it is at whatever he's doing. So he's doing navigation, more efficient. He's looking outside, even more range for the visual range because he has more people up top. Pretty important. As for the mechanics, same story. I will actually like Troza is our chief engineer. So here. He also has 1 skill point, also improved authority, because he's going to be at the engines most of the time, and when he's at the engines, he will be able to extract a little bit more power from them, but particularly so he's going to save fuel, which is pretty important. So yeah, those two have up to
Ekaloi.
two followers. So I'm going to go to the crew, squads, and Carl Erik Troza and Johannes Habekost. They have two sailors. They are our day shift as well, so pretty useful. At night, well, probably there won't be so much importance in having so many sailors. But with time, as they win experience, and these other guys, they will also have their first skill is going to have a further follower. Pretty important. So yeah, I think we are done with the crew for now. Now let's take a look at the warehouse. We could take a look at the crew officer, but honestly, we don't have money to spend in any officer, and I don't think they have any. Also, we can't really put any new officers at the time. Our top is 5. We need reputation in order to have more spots for officers on the crew, and then we have to hire them. So for the time being, 5 it is.
Was
We go
brauchst
to
du,
the
Herr Kalor?
warehouse. I want to upgrade my ship. I don't know with what, and basically we
Schau
have no
mal.
money. So yeah. Yeah, so first things first. I noticed yesterday when I was doing, well, was going to be the first episode, and finally ended up in disaster. Well, not in disaster, just in me declaring the war against the world. Yeah, that the rate of consumption of UB is insanely high. So we really need a lot, and I mean a lot of food. So I'm going to buy as much as I can, and yeah, I'm going wholesale here. Yeah, and yeah. 4 kinds of food, 3 for the crew, and these I usually use for those poor souls who are in the lifeboat after you sink them. And they are like, yeah, well, we are pretty much fucked. I'm sorry for the word, but yeah, this is a channel for adults. Yeah, well, then they are there like on their own, and they need something to survive. So I usually give them with some house rules. I will explain them when we come to that. Yeah, that's it for food. Ammunition. Yeah, I would like more AP. Thank you. AT we have in the storage room, so we really don't need it. Fuel, top of the tanks, torpedoes. Torpedoes. P1. Yeah, that's worrisome. Okay, if you remember back in the day when I was doing the US campaign with the submarines, I used to curse a lot because of the American torpedoes. Believe it or not, Germans were worse. At least at the war's beginning. They got them fixed decently quickly. Within a couple of years, they were working mostly okay. Unlike the Americans who spent 3 whole years before having decent torpedoes. The thing is that these really are a disaster. They really are. I mean, this pistol was horrendous, and you can see it if you read down the description here. I'm not going to read it, but you can pause and check it. Yeah, basically they don't go off if they hit at any angle that's not 90 or close. The magnetic detonator usually is good for telling everyone that you are close by, because they go off whenever they want, not when they go under a ship. So I'm actually never ever going to use the magnetic setting until much later in the war, and only if there's an emergency. Yeah, this pistol was a disaster, and the torpedoes weren't great as well. The T1 was okay. The T1 was a steam operated torpedo, which actually had pretty decent performance. The problem is, of course, it was a steam operator, so it left a trail of bubbles, and you don't want those at the surface during daytime, because everyone is going to see them. They are going to try to avoid the torpedoes, and every destroyer around is going to know where did you shoot them from, which is not good. They are okay for rough seas, they are okay for night attacks, but for day attacks, we must go with this. The T2, which is electric, and honestly not very good electric. Also, as you can see, it has the UBE mod changes the parameters of the torpedo, so if it's not warmed, it has much less range and it's slower. But the problem is that if you warm them, then the pistol goes nuts. So yeah, it's like, okay, do you want a shitty torpedo that usually doesn't blow out when it hits something, or do you want a normal-ish torpedo which goes okay but it never goes off? So yeah, not the greatest thing ever, but it's what we have. We have 2 minutes with this, so that's it. I will pick another one of these, so yeah, Lord help us. Back here. Okay. I also want to check something up, because yesterday also happened to me. When I was doing the tour of the U-boat, I noticed this. You don't have any torpedoes mounted at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is to load the map while we are in port, and we are going to go out with a full load of torpedoes. Because, yeah, that's quite important. Okay. And I will use fast forward.
Was brauchst du, Herr Kaloy?
When we are done with this intro, so you don't have to see my crew loading up the stuff. Okay, this is all ready. I want an extra breather, just in case. When a compartment gets full of water, you can't enter it and repair unless you have a rebreather. So these are actually pretty important. I really hope we don't get hit, but if we do, I want as many hands within the compartment which is flooded in order to repair it as fast as possible. Okay, so let's give some orders here. You come here, load these torpedoes, and actually I'm going to I'm going to come here and tasks, and the chief engineer, he's not going to bother with this, but I want to give it a little bit of priority. You do this and don't go to sleep until I tell you so. Actually, what I'm going to do is I can't. Well, I will load them when I can. You come here and do this. Okay, fast forward. I will catch up with you when we are ready to go out and start our patrol. Okay, it seems we are loaded. We are, and we are. I usually put T1s in the 1 and 2 spots and T2s in the 3 and 4. Okay, so now we have more space for more torpedoes, which I'm going to buy.
Schau mal.
Come here, give me torpedoes. Yeah, T2, T1, so 2. So we need 2 and 2. Oh boy, we are really poor. But we do have our torpedoes, right? Let me check. Yes, we do. Okay. Weird, we don't have to wait for that. Usually you do. Anyway, let's check on our leading officer. He's deeply impressed by our last patrol. He always is, even when this is our first patrol. Whatever. Let's see what we do have as a potential. Okay, patrol out in the western coast of the Iberian Peninsula. Hey, this is very close to home. Northwestern part of the British Islands, and even more out there. Let me. Okay, that's disconcerting because this is cropped. Yeah, I changed the resolution of the game so I could record it. The problem is that it seems it doesn't.
Dies sind die heutigen Aufträge vom BDU. Streng geheim.
Well, let's see. Objectives, anticipated number of vessels, small, medium, small. Okay. We're going with this. And I see if I can change this. I don't know. It's because the difficulty is up here. You can't see it. Anyway,
Dies sind die heutigen Aufträge vom BDU.
that's the one we are
Streng
going to
geheim.
pick. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our first patrol. Before the war begins, let's not make enemies before they should be enemies. I hope everyone is in the clear about that, including the skipper, who is myself. Okay, let's go up here and order
Schneller, schneller!
1/3 ahead and come off our pier and begin getting out of the port of this beautiful city, which I'm not going to name because I simply can't. You know me, I do have problems with some weird names. I'm not meaning that this is a weird name, it's Wilhemshaven, right? Good. Problem is, if I try to say it in one go, it's a disaster. Alright, so yeah, out we go. And one thing you must say about U-boat, it has issues. I mean, from the realistic standpoint, mods go a long way in order to fix that, right? But even mods can't help with not the smartest AI in the world, which is blatantly obvious at times, but especially so if you are near the coast, because near the coast is wow. Then it has some missions that I'm not going to take. I'm just telling you, don't expect me to go to Scapa or any port for that matter, because honestly, I never knew the UK had so many destroyers in one place in the whole war. But it seems that all of them are there. It's kind of ludicrous. Yeah, not the best designed missions ever. And I don't think the mods change that, so I'm not going to do that. And also, as I said, the AI is pretty damn low. And when you come close to the shore, you start seeing really awkward things, like cruisers running aground, destroyers doing weird stuff. Yeah, not a fan at all. So, yeah. Well, as you can see, there in the distance, those are the locks of the canal, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, those are the doors. This will open up when we come close. So yeah, well, I want to hear from you guys. I don't know how many of you are still around after 5 years, but I'm hoping a good number of you. And in case you are new, well, here I am. You will know me little by little. I like simulation games, I like historical games, I know a lot about historical stuff of World War II, and I like to make videos about it and speaking about history and speaking about funny things and not so funny things as well. So let's go 2 thirds ahead, and yeah, and this is not the only game you're going to see in this channel, because I also am planning to do the opposite of this, actually. I mean, in this we are a German submarine hunting Allied ships, and there's another game which is about an Allied ship trying to hunt German ships or U-boats, which that is Destroyer the U-boat Hunter, which I actually quite like quite a little bit. Okay, we are already on the open sea. The first thing I'm going to do is take this flag off. I mean, I really don't think that a U-boat on patrol would have the ensign out there. There's the general direction where our patrol objective is, but we need to do something really important, which is to go around the British Isles. And what I'm going to do is to go up here and do it like this. I don't want to come through this channel. I mean, Scapa Flow is here, so I guess there's going to be a lot of patrols around here. Okay, I think it's a good time as any other to give you a little introduction to our boat. So, yeah. First, we are going to climb down here. Ooh, a little bit of swell. Ooh, getting our feet wet. 88mm. Not much to say. We all know this gun is good for small merchants and enemies which are already hit and refusing to sink. Let's go up here. I really don't want my feet frozen. 20mm anti-aircraft gun, which might very well be a nerf gun, because if we can avoid it, we are not using this, at least against aircraft. Observation periscope stand. No, that's actually the attack one, sorry. So this is one. UCO. We have a searchlight, which I actually kind of use sometimes when I come out of port at night, and in some cases when I'm gunning someone during the night and I want to see better, I will use this. This is pretty neat. I don't remember any other U-boat simulator that actually has it. Okay, open the hatch if you will let me, please. Really. Okay, the submarine doesn't want me. There. This is going to be a running joke, isn't it? Anyway, let's go down and come down to the attack position. This is the conning tower. So from here, this is the attack periscope. This is where we come and lob torpedoes at the enemy. Sailor here with all the controls to depth, more depth, engine, compass, and then the attack periscope, which we will see when we have to use it. Also the TDC, important thing. I mean, the Americans had one, the British had one, everyone had one. This is the German one, not as advanced as the American one, but good enough. Control room, we will come here later. Let's begin from the front. And in the front we are. So this is the frontal sleeping area for the crew, which, as you can see, are folding beds. These fold up because when you are loading torpedoes, I mean, it's very hard to load this one when you have a bed in front of you, right? So you can fold them down, up, and raise the torpedo, put it in. Torpedo tubes, torpedo reloads, communication phone, which I guess is used from the conning tower to tell the settings for the torpedoes for the officer to put them in. So let's come back. That's a sexy pose, you sailor. What the hell are you doing? That's actually me. I mean, okay, yeah, when I go to bed and start reading, I usually take this very same pose. Well, the bent knee, maybe not. I mean, this looks like... okay, whatever. Okay, officer sleeping area with a drawer, a cabinet, which has our equipment. Rebreathers are here, but if this is important to remember, they are here. Lavatory. Lavatory. What the? Okay, I mean, I never noticed this before. And now the game decides to save, which is going to take a while because the UBE mod makes save files a lot bigger. Okay, yeah, so will you open, please? Thank you. Yes, imagine if we were in a rush. So lavatory. Funny story about this, U-boat once was lost because this thing wasn't operating very well. I will tell that in another day. In this one we are really busy doing the tour. Listening room, this is the sonar station where we have our listening spot for the hydrophones, and when we do have radar detection equipment, it also goes in here. Radio station with our officer in here. You can put music, we may put later, but right now, no. Also, all these doors you can close and open. That's weird. Anyway, you can close and open depending on the damage. I mean, if a compartment is flooded, you really want to limit it to that compartment, and yeah. I mean, damage control in the submarine is a pretty heavy stuff. Anyway, depth steering station. So when you are underwater, two sailors come here and they operate the bow planes and the aft planes in order to keep your depth steady. These are engine controls. Important thing, the valves. As I said, this is really important when you want to go crashing down because a plane is close by or I see a destroyer or whatever. I want someone to come here and open these valves as soon as possible. Also the observation periscope, navigation table with some weird blackboard there, I don't know. Echo sounder, so when you are in shallow waters you can give a ping and it says how much depth you have under you. As you can see, currently have only 5 meters, which is not a lot, but again we are very close to shore. The bilge pump, important because, well, I mean, even in a watertight submarine some water seeps in. You have the shafts which go into the hull, and of course some water comes in there. Of course you can get water because someone has dropped a bomb on you and some come in. Yeah, this makes a ton of noise, so always off until the times you really need it. Which brings me to the gyroscope, navigation tool, makes navigation much easier and also decreases the chance to get lost by 60%, which is nice. Again, makes a shit ton of noise, so if someone is listening to us, this must be shut down. These are the lights on there. So white for day, red for the night. Red is really good for the night seeing muscles in your eyes, so this is good for the night. And blue for when you want silent running, and you will notice that with blue this automatically switches off because I have a mod about that. That when you go into blue lights, it goes not only silent running, so everyone will be quieter, but also all the equipment that makes noise, and that will be the gyro compass, the pumps, the ventilation, the compressors, even direct orders, and the dive planes. They go from electric to manual, so we make no noise. But I also have this, the automatic day-night silent lighting, another mode, which automatically changes between day and night, and when you go under 50 meters it automatically sets it to blue running, so silent running. Pretty useful if you don't remember this kind of stuff, and I usually didn't remember, so it comes in handy. After area for the crew to sleep, some tables to play cards, someone doing fish stew, I guess. This is the kitchen, of course. Another cabinet with more general stuff and the food. Bathroom that actually opens, that's nice, but no ass this time. I'm thankful for that, I guess. Some balance. Engine room. This electric room. This is used obviously on the surface and is a hell of a racket, really easy. And this is the aft torpedo room with the electric engines, much quieter. Just for the sake of it, let me show. Let's go.
Wechseln auf E-Motor!
That's quite a difference, isn't it?
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor!
Now engage them again. Yeah. From making a raucous to being really quiet. Obviously, these are for going underwater, but sometimes when you are in the surface, you want this as well. Also because when you're in the surface, you will notice that down here, plumes of smoke. If you are going really at very high powers, this can give your position away. If you are using electric, you don't leave them away. By the way, really choppy seas. Back to the two. Some, what the hell? What's the enable mode? I don't know what this is, so I'm not going to touch it. Some boxes. This is the workshop. If you have any scrap, you can turn it into replacement parts. We don't have any, so not here. A guy in the middle. Mr. Brownie, please. Well, he's clean. I guess it's okay. Yeah, and this is a compressor, an electric compressor to start to replenish our compressed air when we use it. I mean, we use it each time we blow off the tanks in order to surface the boat or, well, to lob torpedoes. Okay, so you can turn them on and they will replace your compressor. And finally, the aftermarket. There's another spot here that you can use to deploy decoys when you have them. I never really got out how to use them. Well, if we ever need them, I guess we'll try. Right now we don't have any solar decoys, so that'll be easy. So that's the U-boat, the noisy parts, the quiet parts, and the fun parts, like that ass on the top of a toilet that didn't want to open. If you're in a rush, that must be really, really annoying. Anyway, let's do some navigation and let's keep on our merry way around the British Isles. Okay, so it's the 29th of August, in the evening, since below we are some ways to the east of the Faroe Islands. And yeah, so far nothing new, no radio messages, no news to report. So we'll keep on going. We are around 800 kilometers of our intended entry point for the area we are intended to patrol. So we are going to arrive there actually before the war has started. So we need to be careful this time not to declare war myself. Yeah. Okay, really awful weather. Expected, North Sea. Well, actually, no, this is already Atlantic, I guess. We are past the Faroe Islands. Some thunder, very choppy seas, lots of wind, little visibility. Yeah, not really a peaceful weather right now. But again, the news. We are still on our way, already pointed to our patrol area. And well, I mean, in a couple of days, the biggest conflict in human history will begin. Okay, so in the early hours of the 31st of August, we finally are at our designated patrol area. Let's tell BDU and await for further instructions for when all the shitstorm begins. Again, no news, no messages, no radio communications, just us in our little sub and arriving at the area we are supposed to patrol. Night of the 31st of August, in a couple of hours, some SS patrols will attack a German outpost in the Polish border. Disguise themselves as police officers and give Hitler an excuse to begin the invasion of Poland. So yeah, the big storm is about to happen, but we are under one right now. Full awful weather. I'm actually tempted to give the crew a rest and go on because really, all this movement can be good for those who are seasick. Of course, they should get used to it because yeah, when shit hits the fan, yeah, commodities and accommodation is going to be the last of our worries. But for the time being, here we are bouncing up. And there are 25 knots of wind. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. But yeah, again, this is the Northeast Atlantic. This is the Atlantic Ocean in all its glory. Awful weather, very high waves, and again, more thunder. Really, what a crappy weather we have. Okay, here we have it. 17 past 12, 1st of September 1939. War declared. The war has begun. Germany has begun the invasion of Poland and the war holds its breath. 2 days more France and Britain will attack Germany. Well, will declare war. Attacks, they didn't attack that much. Yeah, some attacks, some air attacks on this place I can't name. Some Bremen and particularly on Wilhelmshaven. Hey, I did it. Which weren't really bad for Bomber Command. Really bad. And they soon stopped trying because, yeah, they were losing planes like mad. And the invasion has begun. But now the panzers are already rolling into Poland. Yep, and we are in the middle of the Atlantic. Well, not exactly the middle, but hey, what's this? Support the invasion of France ends the 20th of June. Hey, this is new. This is UB, I guess. Well, I want to make missions for this. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm making some navigation because we have only 8% accuracy. No kidding. I mean, who is going to get a proper fix on the stars with this weather? I mean, we can't see the freaking stars for crying out loud. Oh, crappy weather all the trip. I hope it calms down because with this weather it's really shitty to try to hunt ships. Anyway, yeah, we're still not in war with most of the world, only Poland, and I'm not betting we are going to find many police stations around here at the moment. Okay, we have one more message that I somehow managed to close before restarting the recording. So this is the UBE message. So U-boat Expanded is intended to inject as much historical World War II data into the game as possible. To do this, it adds every known German U-boat patrol, tens of thousands of vessel names, hundreds of convoys and shipping lanes, air patrols, warships and ports. The end result hopes to be a near replica of all events during World War II, remaining historically accurate as much as possible while being enjoyable for the player, which means me, or you, if you play this game with this mod. This mod is still a work in progress and may contain bugs. Yeah, happens with mods. Have negative performance impact. None that I have found out yet. Please report bugs. Reporting. Yeah. So this is a U-boat message. Time to be at the end of the 1st of September. So when the war begins. Thankfully, finally, seems like a properly decent weather has come around. No more bouncing up and down. We actually can see the moon. Okay, so I got a call in the middle of the recording and I totally lost the track of what I was saying. But yeah, summing up. War has begun against Poland. No UK or France yet, but that's about to change. So yeah, let's see what comes next. And that's something happened a couple of minutes after I checked that on you. I mean, a couple of minutes ago, to September, hostile actions on the part of the Polish allies England and France are not to be expected. Surely not. Hostile actions against them are prohibited until further notice. Yeah. So we are not expecting England or France to come to the aid of the Polish, right? I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, it didn't happen anything when we went against Slovakia or saving a UB game. Why does it happen each time I talk? Whatever. Yeah, it's not going to happen, right? I mean, France and the English, they are shitty. By the way, France seems to be our enemy already. But yeah, the UK, not yet. So yeah, they are not going to attack Germany. They are not going to declare because they are cowardly pushes. So yeah, we are out here doing nothing because, of course, war's not going to happen, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, yep, back to you when more news happen. Oh boy, neglected interiors. So seems our crew doesn't like wiping the floor. Really? Are we on the pump? Yeah, we need to switch it on because we have a little bit of water in the builds. Yeah, let's solve this. So the crew come here. Tasks for the sailors. Yeah, begin cleaning a little bit more and maybe cooking a little bit less. That's going to solve it in some days, I guess. Right now is a minus for our discipline. Too much work from officers. Well, I'm not going to solve that because I need that work to be done. But their interiors are really, really bad. -4 per minute. I mean, do they really care that much about how clean the U-boat is? I mean, this is a lot of sailors in a very cramped space. It's going to be dirty, right? And it's going to smell like shit. So who cares if there's a little bit of dust? Whatever. So yeah, cleaning it is. And yep, that's the big news. We are in the verge of a big war, finally, with decent weather and a proper calm sea. And they are worried because, yeah, it's a little bit dirty. Whatever, mate. Report from BDU states that Great Britain, France, Australia, and New Zealand intend to respond against the action of Germany's invasion of Poland. A little bit of a typo here. War has been declared. They are calling it the Second World War. So early? I don't think so, but whatever. Yeah, seems that we are already at war, but one day before, well, a couple of hours before we expected it. Yeah, so it's time to begin our war patrol orders. So what I'm going to do is, each time it's 12 o'clock, be it midnight or noon, I'm going to do a dive to check on sound contacts, because of course you can hear in a U-boat far longer than what you can see. And yeah, hopefully we will find something that way. In the meantime, yeah, our patrol is already our patrol. So let's go check down here, then we will come up here and start patrolling these approaches to the UK. And hopefully we find something to sink. We'll see. Okay, another one. 3 September 0004 FDU. To all submarines, English ships are to consider hostile with immediate effect. At present, all first wave submarines are instructed to attack freighters in accordance to the term of the price rules. As long as the price rules are enforced, cargo ship flying the English flag may be attacked without warning. Alright. Yep, it's war. Let's go directly to our patrol area. And well, it's our time to do our first
Tauchen auf 5 Meter.
proper sound check. So let's order a dive. And yep, see if we hear something. We have our radio man on the proper spot. We have our sailors coming to the station. We are going to assign an officer to oversee them. And yep, down we go. Bars have been already blown, so well blown, open, so underwater. We will go down to 50 meters, stop the engines, and check on sounds. Well, actually, start. We'll check on sounds. Really fast in diving, actually. So yeah, it makes a difference to have an officer overseeing it. Actually, I am at bed, sleeping. Yeah, coming up. Yeah. Let's see what our radio man tells us. We have noises. 7 knots, northwestern course. Okay, we have our first contact. Around here, 60, this is another mod. You can see that the angle comes, or the course comes on the ruler. 64 set, so like more or less like this. Okay, let's come this way.
Zu Befehl.
Around 7 knots, at a distance of 73 kilometers. Well, that's It's a long range. Okay, so 1 to 3, I'm betting either 1 or 2. I don't think there are going to be 3. And yeah, we are going to set an interception. Actually, I'm going to go closer because we are going to go faster than them. And we will arrive them not yet in the morning, actually. Okay, nothing more so far. Usually takes 5 minutes to do a proper check, but most contacts come in the very beginning. So I'm already going to bypass that. I'm going to order surface, standard ahead. I'm going to sleep again. I'm that lazy. And yeah, up we go. Up we go. We are blowing tanks. You will see here that our compressor reserves are coming down. We really need to do a proper navigation fix, but Mr. Schulz is already doing that. And yeah, we will come back to the surface.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor.
Engage the diesel motors. And there we go. Well, that was quick. Anyway, there we go. It's hunting time. War has been barely declared. Let's engage the compressor so we fill up our compressor. And we are already hunting. And this time, I'm not going to be the one declaring war. This time I can sing whatever I find. Well, not whatever. Let's see the nationality. Okay, so this is going to be it for this video. I actually was planning to include, well, the first interception and see what happened. But this is more than 1 hour already, and I think it's pretty long. So what I'm going to do is to cut it here, and well, in the next video we are going to see what happens next. In the meantime, well, it's good to be back. It feels really great. I hope you guys have done really well in the last 5 years. Those who were here when I was making videos. And well, I'm back to stay. So please like this video, comment something, you know, the algorithm, YouTube, those things. We really need to get this channel going again, and yeah, that won't happen if we get no views. So, well, thank you for being there. I hope you really had a great time watching this, and see you later.